Hello again, there, everybody. This is going to be something very different. Trying out a theory build. I've wanted to play some Shadow again, but I wanted to do something a little bit off the beaten path. So Esper it is. Plus, I am also including the Stoneforge package. I also wanted to play a Stoneforge deck. I wanted to play a Shadow deck. I said, let's see if I can squish them together. I am aware of the non-bow of 4/4 Vigilance Lifelink and the card Death's Shadow. Um, but I'm just going to hopefully not run into that scenario. I'm going to try my best to not have that hurt me. But I think Death Shadow individually is powerful, and I think the one card combo of Stoneforge and Battle Skull individually is also powerful. So I'm going to hope to pivot my game plan into whichever is most applicable to the situation. Let's take a look at the current modern metagame. Again, this is a Theorycraft build, so not a whole lot was influenced by this breakdown. I kind of just built the deck how I wanted, and I can see how it goes from there if I'm drastically off or if I'm maybe even a little bit closer. So Uro is still first, Humans and Blue-White still hovering at 2 and 3. Copycat rising to 4, Thracto Shadow dipping all the way to 5. Death and Taxes up to 6, a pretty popular one these days. And then the various combo and aggro decks that we've come to love and know over the past few weeks. So there's that. And again, there's not really a whole lot of a deck tech to do other than I'm playing lots and lots of threats. A problem that Grixis Shadow has had in the past is it hasn't had a substantial threat density. So I am hoping to, with this build, eliminate that problem. So I'm playing a lot of threats. I'm playing 4 Shadow, 4 Stoneforge, everything that the Stoneforges get, and 3 Gurmag Anglers. We've also got Ranger Captain of Eos as another way to find a Death Shadow, or our 1 toolbox card, Giver of Runes. So let's just jump into a league. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, sounds great. Remember, Agadeem's Awakening is like a second land, so this hand's actually just phenomenal. And then this is a black source, so I guess with Marsh Flats I'll want to get my 1 copy of Hollowed Fountain, so I've got all the colors. A little awkward not having multiple black, because this is still a base black deck with a very light blue splash. The secondary color is definitely white. Yeah, but I would love to get all my colors, especially so I can cast this Thought Scour. Like in the ideal world, I'm just gonna get Godless Shrine, but I definitely think I want to be casting my spells. Now that the opponent has played a creature, maybe I can alter that plan a little bit. I can get Godless Shrine anyway. Dismember this, and then I can shock in my Agadeem's Awakening. probably still best to just get the hollowed fountain, so I have all my colors. It's a good draw, but I think I should get the shadow down, start getting that pressure. Like, I could go for the Stoneforge here, but I think I want the thing that hits harder faster. Especially against the Titan deck where their 6th mana is at such a premium. Maybe they were feigning a Path to Exile and realized maybe I could Stubborn Denial. I am going to Thought Scour end of turn. They'll probably Path in response if they've got it, which is unfortunate, but I've got backup threats. Alright, I'll get the Swamp. I could Thought Scour the opponent, but I'm playing Gurmag Angler, so it's probably just always best to Thought Scour myself. I could end up milling some of the Stoneforge Mystic aces, so I'll have to watch out for that. Alright, I get the Pseudo Titan. And now I can Stoneforge and something. I could Thought Scour myself first. Maybe I hit something that I want to unearth. But I should probably just go for the Stoneforge. And I'll probably get a sword. Batterskull is probably going to be too slow. Then I guess I'll leave blue up because I've got the Thought Scour. So this looks like it's going to be a sort of feast and famine here. So far, so smooth. In testing a deck for the first time, I don't necessarily care about if I win or lose. I just want to see how smooth it is. Alright, and the opponent is at Titan mana. And they didn't have it, so that's good. Actually, they're short, right? Because they need 2 green to make Castle tap for mana. If I hit a land here, I can get the sword into play and attack with it this turn, which would be excellent. So if we draw untapped land, great. Alright, we did. If they've got another path, it gets awkward. Probably fine, however. So the opponent still doesn't have the double green. And they're going to need green and the Titan before they can actually get the Titan into play. So having them go down to 0 cards is going to be pretty great. The opponent does have Blast Zone, so I may be running out of ways to actually carry the sword. But I mean, I've got the Unearth to bring them back. Let's just lead on Thought Scour and see what we hit. We hit a Snapcaster and a Stubborn Denial. Alright, so we can unearth the Snapcaster, but not to great effect. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Stoneforge for our remaining good equipment. And then they'll probably end up blast zoning both Stoneforges, but I'll just unearth one back. Making sure to leave up Stubborn Denial mana. So now which one do I really care about? Honestly, Maul is going to make the clock faster just because it lets me hit harder the turn it comes in. But Batterskull is an additional clock. I'll get the Batterskull. I mean, I'm likely to get the other equipment anyway, after unearthing a Stoneforge. Oh, they want to get rid of the sword. Yeah, that makes some sense. Alright, well now they're at Titan mana. I mean, if they're sacking the Blast Zone, which they're probably going to have to do, they're back to the issue of they don't have double green to pair with the castle. I think I'm going to keep the Unearth for the Snapcaster. that'll get Maul if I really care for it. But it costs 3 and they've got Blast Zone, so probably not what's going to be happening. I'll just attack with this Stoneforge. I guess I should attack with both, but then I can't put Batterskull in, so we'll attack with just the one that has the sword equipped and make them pop it. Now they'll block. Alright, so we don't really have a good Snapcaster target right now. Like, we can unearth Snapcaster. Snapcaster can target unearth, and then we can, like, Thought Scour to draw a card. But I think we might want to unearth Snapcaster for the Dismember at some point. So I'm going to... This is white to put it in. I'm going to put in this other Stoneforge, get the other equipment, and then I can put the Batterskull in at the end step. Leaving up the Watery Grave for Stubborn Denial. I mean, the opponent can still draw Titan and a Mana Source to put me behind. Oh, they drew the Titan this way. If they drew the Titan, then it's obviously quite unfortunate. I mean, if they drew, like, the Summoner's Pact, and that's their route to it, I've got the Stubborn Denial, which does actually work because they all have 6 mana. They won't be able to cast the Titan through it. But, I mean, if they just drew the Titan, then I get screwed. Yeah, I get screwed. I mean, this Titan doesn't actually turn on Field of the Dead yet. So if I put in Batterskull and then I put them all the Skyclaves on it, it can square up versus the Titan. So the opponent knows about Maul. Unfortunately, this Field of the Dead is gonna get going. Let's put in the Maul and put it on our Germ. I mean, this Flying Vigilance Lifelinker might be enough to race any number of Field of the Dead tokens the opponent can put into play. Maybe I wanted to hold up double stub, but they don't have any cards in hand, so that doesn't seem like a huge miss. Yep. I think I'm just passing here. Nothing really good to flash back quite yet. The question will be, do I want to trade the Germ for the Titan? I think yes. I can bounce the Batter Skull and then put it back into play. Hopefully they're not playing like a Sajiri step or something. This could be like second copy of Field of the Dead plus something, which would be pretty brutal. Yeah, I think I'm trading for this Titan. Oh, I've got First Strike. I forgot the Maul gives First Strike. That's really good. Yeah, I mean this one creature might be enough to get there. Their attacks aren't super consequential if I'm gaining 6 on every attack. So now I guess I could unearth Snapcaster. It's the same thing. It's not really that great. I could just use it as a cantrip. I think I'll save it for something better. Yeah, I forgot Maul gives First Strike. That's really good. Alright, that's dangerous because they could eventually get Valakut going. Take these lands out of my deck. I'm off the Shadow plan, quite clearly. I say as I draw Shadow. Nope, but I drew Skyclave. That's pretty good as well. That takes the opponent off of the Valakut plan. Like, if they drew another Titan, they could have Valakuted me. And if the opponent fetches, they do actually just die next turn, so they may not even want to be making zombies here. So I guess the most dangerous draw now is Stubborn Denial. Is like an actual Titan, because then maybe they've got some utility lands that get them out of it. Sweet. Right, so green-white Titan. Honestly, my sideboard looks pretty bad versus this opponent. Is Teferi good for any reason? Probably not. Like, they can't like cast their various ways to find Titan on my turn. Like, they can't cast Pact or Eldamri's Call. Fire and Ice doesn't look great. The spell they're not really graveyard oriented. I could see Feed the Swarm. Small chance they've got Leyline of Sanctity. And it also just kills stuff against a deck that doesn't really pressure my life total a whole lot. So, like, maybe Feed the Swarm. I don't think I want to ramp the deck that's looking to ramp itself. Snapcaster is probably on the slow side. There's quite a lot that Stubborn Denial hits versus this opponent, so I think I'm going to keep most of their removal is exile based, so I think I'm going to take out the Unearth. And like, we saw the Batter Skull be very good, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be fantastic most of the time. It's probably just good to leave in so I have Stoneforge targets. Maybe I cut my third copy of Fatal Push. I'll have my only removal spells then will be 2 Fatal Pushes. I guess I'm bringing in the Feats and like the Dismember. Dismember is nice for getting out a quick shadow like we saw. Their one drop is really potent though, the 1/2 that searches for lands, especially if they have flagstones. I'll cut like a Thought Scour. Everything else seems like it's just gonna be good. I guess there's more removal that I hadn't considered. We have the 2 Skyclaves. Yeah, let's give this a go. Got my girlfriend's Tinkerbell mug here. It sounds good. Again, I'm in that little awkward situation where it looks like I'm going to be getting Hollowed Fountain, so that's something to pay attention to if it comes up a lot. I mentioned I just want to. I don't really care about winning or losing necessarily. I want to make sure the deck at least feels smooth. So I mean, it's possible that like the whole Hollowed Fountain situation is awkward. All right, let's lead here so we have more information on when we Thoughtseize. And if we are Thoughtseizing, we can't get Hollowed Fountain, so we'll just be leading on Swamp. Sorry about the mismatched, by the way. It's Mana Traders. So they have Winds of Abandon, Elder Gargaroth, Generous Gift, and Tireless Tracker. Alright, well I've got the Dismember for the Tracker. The Gift is unfortunate, but ultimately fine. Maybe I just take the Winds of Abandon. I've already got one of my basics, and I'm kind of threat light right now. Yeah. It's just like, how am I going to be dealing with this Elder Gargaroth down the line? I'll probably end up Thoughtseizing it, and then the Dismember can be for the Tracker, and I'll just let them Generous Gift something. Yeah. It'll be unfortunate if they draw like exactly Veil of Summer, and then they can counter my second Thoughtseize, which I'll likely be casting just right here. Fatal Push. That's another way to deal with their Tireless Tracker, as long as I can have Revolt. This might just be a good turn to Stoneforge though. It uses my mana pretty efficiently. I mean, my plan is likely to kill their Tracker, which they're playing next turn. So I think I'm going to just Thoughtseize now. This also makes sure that they have fewer turns to draw Veil of Summer. They drew a Primeval Titan. That's a good one. There are many land drops off of that, though. Is it possible that I can kill them before that happens? I think I'm still gonna take the Elder Gargaroth just because the Primeval Titan costs 1 more, and in an ideal scenario I pressure them enough where they don't actually get to that much mana. Like they've got 5 mana effectively. They need 2 more land drops. They kind of both come down on the same turn, right? Because Castle means that their fifth land drop is good for the 6th mana anyway. I mean, Gargaroth is a 6/6, so I cannot Dismember it, right? Pretty sure it's a 6/6. Yeah, it's a 6/6. It's pretty close. I think I should probably take the Titan just because their 5th mana is basically their 6th mana as long as one of the lands they find is green. The way this could have been avoided was if I just taken their Gargaroth at first. Alright, so ideally we draw like a land. Nice. So putting 2 fetches in the yard means I can have 5 total in the yard, means I can tap 2 for Gurmag Angler and still have up either Fatal Push or Dismember. I mean, they're going to very likely just Generous Gift my Gurmag Angler. But, I mean, I'll still have a 3/3 in play, and I can even maul the Skyclaves that if I really want. Alright, so I'm going to get Godless Shrine and Hollowed Fountain, I guess. I definitely want double white, and I definitely want double black. So this will be Godless Shrine. This will be Hollowed Fountain. So again, I expect them to generous gift this. Maybe I should have tapped slightly better. I could have planned my mana better. Like if I had a Watery Grave untapped right now, I could bluff having I could bluff having the Stubborn Denial while holding up my removal. Alright, so now I'm expecting a tracker into an Elder Gargaroth. Or sorry, a tracker into a fetch land. That works too. Alright, so they're going to be able to Elder Gargaroth on the upcoming turn. What brought about this? I just wanted to do something interesting. So, Dismember might be able to trick the Gargaroth into blocking poorly, but I don't actually have Revolt for the Fatal Push, so it's risky to not just use this push here. Like, if I draw Fetch Land, then I look really smart. I think I should probably just prioritize killing this. Chaos with the resub, thanks. Hey, we drew Shadow. That thing is large. And given that we know their hand, that's a really excellent draw. We can even put them all the Skyclaves on it next turn to make it hit for 11 in the air. That seems good. Sort of Feast and Famine. You love the spice? That's good. Oh, and it looks like when you subscribed, I unlocked another emote, which is funny because I haven't redeemed the first one. It looks like I guess I have two now. Alright, so they did not play the Foothills, they played Gargaroth. Another Shadow? I'll take it. So I can activate Stoneforge to put in the Maul of the Skyclaves. That seems good because then I can play I can play another Death Shadow. Like even if they draw like a removal spell for my blocking Death Shadow, I can still block with the elephant and take 3 because their Elder Gargaroth has Trample, which will put me at 1. So what I really don't want to see right now is Blast Zone, because that would get rid of both of my shadows. So I want to fade Blast Zone. And I know their hand is Wood of Foothills. They've got a Clue as another look at it. No Blast Zone, please. You know that feeling you get when you feel like your opponent's about to luck sack you? Kind of got that feeling. Drawing a card, yep. Another look at Blast Zone. I mean, at least this way, we get to actually kill their Gargaroth. Hey, we did it. We beat a tier 1 deck on our first go. Boom. Not bad, not bad. Got that Tinkerbell mug. Hell yeah. Why does what thing? Why does what thing have so much text? Alright, this is looking like a mulligan. Yeah, it sounds good. Remember, Aghanim's Awakening is another land. We're kind of far off of casting this ranger, so maybe for that reason we just bottom it. Oh, Elder Gargoth? Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty big though, right? Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with Maul the Skyclave. Like Mono White Death and Taxes is like almost always playing one. Like you can pretty often play against a deck that your Sword of Feast and Famine doesn't actually affect too much, like that opponent. I mean, it would have been good, but the flying gets past a lot more than protection from two colors does. Alright, so it feels weird bottoming the ranger. Or just so far from casting it. But yeah, I mean, if you can give a 9/9 +2/+2 and flying, and first strike, I learned. I didn't realize it gave first strike. I think I read it at some point. I just like had forgotten because it hasn't come up for me yet. But yeah, this deck seems really sweet. Like I wanted to play Stoneforge. I wanted to play the what's the stupid thing called? The 3/3 that's a 2/2. It's a 3-mana 2/2 that like exiles the thing. Skyclave Apparitioner. I wanted to play Skyclave Apparitioner. I wanted to play Shadow, and I wanted to play Stoneforge. So I just built the deck around them. Amulet Titan. Alright, well let's take Amulet. Seems like a good take. Yeah. Maul of the Skyclave and Skyclave Apparition. This is Skyclave Tribal. Street Wraith. Well, if we draw a Shadow, we can get it into play. Another Fatal Push. Not good. This is probably one of my worst cards versus the opponent. Honestly, their Dryad is kind of annoying, but I mean, we've got pushes for it. Again, we don't have Revolt. I think I'm just going to take the Explorer because it draws him a card. And then I have to figure out, do I want to pay the life for this? I think I will, just because it makes our shadows so much better. We could hold up push incidentally. When am I going to choose the emote? Honestly, I still don't know what I want them to be. Hey, there's the shadow. Right on time. See, so shocking this thing in was a big brain play, clearly. Yeah, I don't know what I want them to be, Nick. I remember I put out a PSA like asking for suggestions because I want it to be like, I don't want it to be just anything, right? I want it to be like when you use it, you think of this channel, right? So I just don't know what I want it to be. Something Jund related, probably. Yeah, I would probably commission something if I could. I mean, Milena has already offered to do some work for it. So, I just need to think of what I want. Alright, and Polluted Delta was excellent. That's going to enable Revolt and also get us nice and low so the shadow hits harder. Alright, so I guess another black source is probably pretty free. I don't really need double blue for any reason. Maybe Bob the Builder on Bob. I mean, something Bob related would make sense, right? No idea, just no idea what I would want though. Oh, they drew Pact. I mean, that's Titan, right? Yeah, that's their 5th mana for the Titan. Sorry, they're 5th mana, but castle means they get it. Yeah, I want it to be meme related. It's so hard to make something meaningful in such a small. It's got to be like 112 by 112 bits or something like that. Like you can make something big and then shrink it and then see if it's detailed enough. They gotta do like Field of the Dead here, right? So I guess I'm gonna cycle this Unearth. Yeah, I could work on something in smaller resolution too, but it's kind of hard to do that. Just because like it's hard to draw so tiny. Like you kind of have to draw it big and then shrink it. Which it's easier, I guess, if you don't put any detail, like really fine details to begin with. Alright, so we can push one of these zombies, but that doesn't seem great. I think I'm gonna use my mana to cycle the Unearth. Angler. Stoneforge. So if I can prevent myself from dying this turn, maybe I can piece something together. I mean, I can Stoneforge and Angler here, which is pretty nice. And then I guess I'm getting... It's probably... Is it Maul of the Skyclaves again? Like, if I get Maul, I'm attacking for 9. If I go down to 1 or 2 life, any equipment that I put on a Shadow is going to kill. But I guess it should be Maul, right? Because that one auto-equips. I don't have a whole lot of mana. So yeah, I'll get the Maul. I mean, Death Shadow is bigger than a Titan. But I mean, now they have the ability to maybe give their stuff haste. I guess they've got to pay some green this upkeep. But yeah, if for any reason I'm able to get to 2 or lower, I think I just win. I mean, any of their lands get them more zombies, which is going to be a headache. Is there a consideration to putting the Maul onto the Grimeg Angler? If they make any number of zombies this turn, then it becomes no longer a possibility, right? Because I need to block their stuff. Like Death Shadow can go in front of the Prime Time. Stoneforge can block a zombie. So if they make 1 zombie this turn, that's maybe a plan. So I guess the only draw that I have that wins me the game on the spot is my 1 Dismember, right? Because I can put myself to 2. I could shoot the Maul into play with the Stoneforge. Being at 2 would make this an 11-11, and this would make it a 13-13, which is exact C's. Then I guess somewhat important to note is the opponent's got the Hanweir Battlements in play, but no red source. I mean, do they have a land that can somehow pump the Titan? That'd be annoying. I know there are lands that exist, but they're not super common in these decks. Maybe the hope is like get a second Field of the Dead going. They could Vesuva and copy it maybe. Don't know how many they play, and here's one of them. Like maybe they can Radiant Fountain. Maybe they're gonna try to Teleria West to set up a second Titan. This artwork is so what's the word? Disorienting. It's like I don't know if this is upside down or what, but it looks cool. I mean, it's very clearly in the sky, right? It gives something flying, but it almost looks like it's like on something but upside down, like the picture is upside down. It's pretty cool. Yeah, they're just gonna go for the crap ton of zombies plan. Alright, so there's the red source to pair with the handwear battlements. So they put Turn Timber back in their hand, which makes some sense. That could be another copy of Titan. Maybe another Field of the Dead here. Yep. More zombies, jeez. So I guess, oh, that would have been good. So if they attack all, I can block 3 things. That has 10 creatures getting through, so I am just dead even if I Fatal Push 1. Yep, I die. Unfortunate. Primetime is such a good card. Alright, so Titan. Again, my deck's not looking super tuned for the Titan matchup. In fact, I almost don't want to bring in anything again. I can see maybe Teferi Time Raveler, but that seems pretty slow. Yeah, I agree. I think Primetime is a net negative. Net negative for the format, I mean. Yeah, maybe I should be playing some like Ashiok's in the sideboard to prevent the opponent from searching. Or like a Damping Sphere or two. Maybe. I don't think I'm going to be Mystical disputing anything. Don't think I need Feed the Swarm. I mean, Feed the Swarm can kill Dryad. I mean, is there anything I really don't want? Like, Unearth probably isn't actually going to hit a lot of stuff. If I Thought Scour, I could Unearth, though. Who knows? Maybe Giver is just too slow. I could play like a Feed the Swarm over it. Although giving something protection so I can get a hit in is not non-zero. Yeah, I mean, honestly, to think I just don't want to change anything. Maybe something that this deck would be interested in is Disdainful Stroke as a sideboard card. This one's close. Probably gonna keep. It's got turn 2 Stoneforge, and like if they play a 1-drop, we can dismember it. I think I'm gonna go Silent Clearing on 1, just so I can start paying life. Even if I don't want to dismember, I want to pay as much life as possible to make the shadow big. So yeah, I'll turn 1 Silent Clearing. It bites me slightly if I draw specifically a fetch land in my first draw step. Yeah, Aether Gust as well is a good consideration. That is true. So yeah, maybe some combination of the two. Who knows? Darn. We've got the stub, but not the blue source. So I've got the Sword of Feast and Famine already, obviously. I think I'm gonna want to be on the Death Shadow plan. So I'm not gonna get Batter Skull here. I'll get them all. So that's gonna get dismembered quite clearly. Just pay the max life. And like I could just take the turn to put an equipment into play, but I think I'm gonna be spending mana on Shadow. I'm paying the life anyway, so I'll just do this now. And then Stoneforge can get in there. This is the real reason it's in the deck. It attacks for 1. And if we draw untapped lands, I can get the Sword of Feast and Famine equipped to the Shadow. That's big game. So the ideal scenario here would be we draw blue source, because then we can get the sword equipped, and then we'll untap our lands and have the Stubborn Denial up in case their route to Titan is a pact of some kind. We've got 15 more lands in the deck, but I think 2 of them do not create blue. We've got another Silent Clearing, and we've got the Agadeem's Awakening. So we've got 13 nut draws. But even if we don't hit it immediately, we're still probably okay. Nick redeemed a posture check. You love me. Oof. They're pacting now. Wow. Alright. I mean, I guess they've got Amulet. Starting early, yeah. I mean, they only have 3 mana right now and 1 land drop. They got our Arboreal Grazer. That's a line, I guess. I mean, their next turn is going to be committed to paying for their Summoner's Pact. I mean, unless they can get a Titan into play somehow this turn. I mean, a bounce land would do it now, right? Because they haven't actually played their land for turn yet. Yeah, that's a bounce land. Alright, so if they've got Titan, they can Titan. It's pretty impressive. I mean, it would have to be the one other card in their hand because again, they bounced the spell land to their hands. I mean, yeah, if they've got it, they've got it. Yep. I may not be dead, but it doesn't look good. That gives it haste. Yeah, Grazer does have reach, that's true. The sword doesn't care about that. Just cares if it's black or green. Sword, though, involves 2 more mana to equip. So I could take 6 and go to 3. Kinda have to. How's my shadow at a 10/10? We drew another blue spell. There's only 7 blue spells in the deck. Yeah, I am just dead, it looks like. I mean, their next turn is spent on paying for the Titan. But I mean, they're going to have their Field of the Dead going again. Am I okay here? So like I can put the sword into play at end step. I need to get damage in now is the issue. And like their Grazers have reach. I think I have to pass. Yeah, they've got Valakut. I'm fairly certain they've got like 4 different routes to killing me on their next turn, even through having to pay for a pact. I mean, my shadow is quite big now, which is true. Yeah, you're right, Big Daddy Snow. We just have to make sure they see it. Yeah, I agree. Titan should be banned. Just get rid of Titantron, please. You need to get rid of all the Tron lands. Just one of the 3. You can have the other 2. You think Field needs to be banned more than Titan? I think they're both really stupid. I don't think any one card should be able to win the game by itself with no other synergies happening. Just like play it and you win. Like Death Shadow you have to work for. Like Field of the Dead you arguably have to work for, but it's not that hard. Titan first. That would be a fun poll to put up for all of my viewers. What would you in theory want banned first? A Tronland or Titan? Or Field? Between the three? It's like you can have Urza's Tower. That's the best one, right? I just want Urza's Mind banned. Clearly only half sarcasm. But yeah, Titan's pretty stupid. What was the Titan combo before Field of the Dead? Just playing Titan was good enough to kill you. Out of Amulet Titan, they could turn 3 kill with a single Amulet and a Titan. You would need to get extra lands into play, obviously, somehow. But if you were, which the whole deck was built around doing, you could hit for 16 on turn 3, which isn't obviously actually lethal. But when your first attack is setting up another Titan on the immediately following turn, it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, and there's actually a route in Amulet Titan to a turn 2 kill. If you've got 2 amulets, you can go Amulet on 1, and then on turn 2 you start with another Amulet. Then you play Bounce Land, make 4 mana, Explore, make another 4 mana. And then you're at 6 mana, and you Titan them, and you kill them. I used to play the deck. I've gotten a few turn 2 kills. They're pretty dirty. Alright, looks like I'm mulliganing. Yeah, this is a hand. Yeah, the Amulet Titan, I think, is probably the hardest version of Titan to play. Just because it's like anyone can goldfish a kill, but it's figuring out what to play around that's harder, I think. Like I think if you're a very skilled Amulet Titan player, you could crush anyone. Like 70% of the 70% plus the part of the time. All right, let's I guess bottom sword. If we really want it, we can Stoneforge it back. Yeah, and I feel like it's a lot of modern, right? Chaos. Like I would love to just play this deck and decks like this, and play against decks like this like every time. But then every once in a while you get like put up against like Amulet Titan or Neoform, and it's like nothing I did mattered. All right, so it looks like Rakdos Prowess. I could play Yu-Gi-Oh instead. Yeah, I could. Alright, so how do I want to manage this? I may want to end up stubborn denying something. If I do, I guess I'm getting Watery Grave. I don't have a basic island in the deck. I've got a basic plains and a basic swamp. Ooh. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh is worse. I mean, like a lot of Magic players, I started off in Yu-Gi-Oh, but that was years ago. A game that is actually really good, TCG-wise, is Pokemon. I've had some fun playing that. I'm not good at it by any means, but like I've got a friend who lets me borrow a deck and we play every once in a while, and it's pretty fun. I'm not versed on all of the rules, but I know the basics. Never played Pokemon? I recommend it. And it's pretty cheap too, compared to Magic. It's still a hobby that involves collectibles, right? So it can only ever be so cheap. They let me keep the Stubborn Denial. Right, well, if they cast a spell, I'm almost definitely going to Stubborn Denial it. Yeah. I mean, this is almost not worth Stubborn Denialing because, like, I'm paying 3 to do it. Maybe I should just keep it. I mean... Yeah, let's just do it. It, like, kind of saves us a life because it kind of negates the point of the life that we used to sacrifice the fetch. It's kind of inconsequential. Yeah. What's up, noob man? So I guess the plan right now is I'm gonna Marsh Flats for, I guess, basic plains. I'm gonna Stoneforge and I can get Batterskull. I mean, they're gonna have to try to kill the Stoneforge before I put the Batterskull into play. Oh, does that change the plan? I think it does. Now we can play this tapped, and then we can just Fatal Push this thing. And then if they play another thing, we can get our planes and Skyclave it. Like, I would love to run them dry before attempting to Stoneforge, just because then we've got the best shot at actually getting the Batterskull to stick. I mean, I'm gonna throw this Fatal Push at this thing for sure. Like, I could wait until damage to see if there's something I want to push more, but this is the one that's attacking this turn, and whatever they play next, I'm just gonna Skyclave. This card is so... It's like 20 tickets online now. Alright, that's getting Skyclaved. I guess in the event the Inquisitioner Thoughtseize me, I'll just keep the Street Wraith in hand for this turn. Whatever I draw, it does not change what I'm doing this turn, so if they're going to see my hand, I'd rather them not have extra info. Is Skyclave bad? Are you talking about Skyclave Apparitioner, which I just played, or Skyclave or Scourge of the Skyclaves, which I just took? Hey, and they're Thoughtseizing me, so I'm glad I didn't cycle Street Wraith yet, because they're not gonna have that info. It's like they're almost definitely taking Stoneforge anyway, so let me just like not let them know what I'm gonna get. I think Skyclave Apparition is very good. And then the Scourge of the Skyclaves is very good if you can build around it. Hey, that's a shadow. Alright, so I'm going to pay like this. I mean, I'm just not gonna sack the Silent Clearing for this turn. I really want to get this shadow to being a 4/4 so that it can't be bolted. If they attack, I'll block. Dismember? Rude. As long as they don't have a Shadow of their own as a follow-up. That was good. Haven't cast that one yet this league. It's a Shadow stapled to it 3/3. Dismember this. It's a 7/7. I was going to say 6/6, but I forgot I was paying the life. And I don't think I'm going to sack the Ranger Captain just blindly. Yeah, I'm playing 3 of this card. Skyclave, sorry, Ranger Captain of Eos. That's the first time I've seen one. Playing 2 Skyclave Apparition. I can only play so much top end in this deck that's only playing 18 lands. So I think my top end is just not including Batterskull because it's a Stoneforge thing. I'm playing like 3 of these and 2 of these, and that's my top end. They put Loris into their hand. Yep. Alright, well, if we draw removal, they just die. Not quite. Yeah, there were a few things that did it there. Back-to-back lands were not on that list. I mean, they've got to chump block the Shadow here and go to 2. They don't even have a threat in their yard to play other than Swift Spear, and Swift Spear is not going to do it. Swift Spear is going to have to result in them double chumping again. But yeah, back-to-back lands is obviously not what we want to see. But I still like the spot. So they've got this card in their hand. You know, like, even if they want to play a Swift Spear out of their yard, they're going to need a red source. Like, they need another untapped land that isn't a shock. Yep. That was good. That just has them dead. Right? Assuming we can get another land with this thing. Explain what? Oh yeah, Maul of the Skyclaves. There's a lot of cards with Skyclave in the name. Maul of the Skyclaves. When it enters the battlefield, auto-equip to a creature. Is it worth? It's been very good for me so far. It single-handedly won us match 1 because first strike, we blocked a Elder Gargaroth and murdered it. Well, I don't have the ability to play Battle Rage in Esper colors. I didn't want to play a 4th color. Alright, so we're playing against Mardu. Let's bring in the paths. Let's bring in Nile Spellbomb. Let's bring in Teferi. Let's bring in Feed the Swarm. Batterskull might actually be a really good card in this matchup, right? Because Scourge of the Skyclaves looks at both life totals. If we can get above 20, obviously foregoing the Shadow plan, their Scourges just aren't cards anymore. I think I'm going to take out the Dismember. We're bringing in much better removal. Let's take out Thought Scours. Noobman, thanks for the follow. Taking out Thought Scours is going to make Gurmag Angler worse. Let's cut one of those at least. We need 2 more cuts. Honestly not even sure Teferi Time Raveler is going to be super insane here. I mean, bouncing a card is obviously very good. Maybe Stubborn Denial just isn't at its best here. The opponent's going to have their own removal, though. So, I mean, it's good for countering that. I need 2 more cuts quickly. Honestly, don't know. It feels weird cutting a Thoughtseize, but it's really bad in a top deck war. And then maybe I could just cut, like, 3rd Stubborn Denial. Like, Stubborn Denial is going to be good, but I don't really want to draw more than 1. Like, 2 is probably fine in some situations, but it's not like I'm fighting against a combo or Liliana's of the Veil. I guess I could board it in, but we'll see. I am not married. Oh, are you asking about the cup? It's my girlfriend's. I seem full of life wisdom? No. Ooh, feed the swarm. Leave up the option to path, although giving my opponent mana this early feels pretty bad. I know, like, a medium amount of stuff. About modern, I think I know a slightly above medium amount of stuff. Thoughtseize. They might just take the feed the swarm. I mean, my hand's kind of good. It's definitely on the slow end. But I mean, them Thoughtseizing now and playing Sacred Foundry means they're not deploying another threat here, unless it's another Bowmat Courier. If they were gonna play a Swift Spear, they'd have done it before the Thoughtseize. I remind you of a Yu-Gi-Oh player? Well, I did play Yu-Gi-Oh a long time ago. By a long time ago, I mean like 4th, 5th grade. Yeah, Skyclave was really good against them. Oh, no, it is another Bowmat. So, do I want to give the opponent a land this early? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to let them continue hitting me, which doesn't feel great. I'm definitely going to feed the swarm on whichever one has more cards under it. Do I want to pay the life here with the Smarsh Flats to try to turbo out the Shadow? So if I fetch Shock down to 14, I can then Shock down to 12, which means my Shadow is a 1/1. That's not quite where I want it to be. I think I'm just going to get Godless Shrine tapped. Because like, my hand is set up to be able to go pretty long, so if I can promote that kind of game, I think I'm happy. Alright, so there's an Angler. And then I'll feed the one with 2 cards under it. Go to 13. So yeah, had I fetched Shocked, their attack would be putting me down to 10 here, which means I could have like played a Shadow for as a 3/3 and then held up Path, which maybe that was better. Who knows? Yeah, I honestly haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh in a long enough time period to say which is harder. I have heard though that Yu-Gi-Oh is a lot of combo decks. So I would love to draw untapped white source here. It's pretty much all the lands in the deck except for Agadeem's Awakening. Luris into the hand. Alright, well that's going to likely be the Path to Exile target. Untapped land here would be pretty big. Just another Feed the Swarm. Yeah, I guess I'll feed the swarm again. Go to 11 here. And then I'm going to hope they don't have a land to pair with their Luris, because then they're going to Luris and replay a Bomat. I mean, fetch land is still a pretty big draw here. Even a non-fetch land now. Because I can path and then play a Gurmag Angler. Alright, well, they've got the land. Brutal. Alright, so glad I held the path for this Luris. But I'm going to really want to find the land here. I'll even take a non-white land at this point. Just give me a land. They're all untapped. Okay. So that was actually the best case. A fetch land was best case because I can fetch. I guess I should be getting just another Godless Shrine. I could get Hollowed Fountain. Definitely going to get double white. I think I'm going to want a lot of black before I want double blue. So let's just get other Godless Shrine. Do I want to get basic for any reason? So maybe I should be getting a basic. It just sucks because I drew the Polluted Delta. I would love to get basic planes, but like the opponent's playing Lava Spikes and stuff, which makes me not want to shock, but I think I will. I really don't want to go below 7 if at all possible. Alright, so now I can path to exile the Luris. And I wanted to do this now because this will add a card to the yard for the Gurmag Angler, so I can Angler and Shadow here. Alright, I mean, the opponent is at 9. I mean, they're also kind of a burn deck with 3 cards in hand. They're playing, I think, it's just Bracto Shadow. Every once in a while, they'll play a Sacred Foundry for white sideboard cards. So a good question is, this upcoming turn, do I want to Ranger Captain or Sword? I think going wide and playing Ranger Captain is probably better. Looks like we've got a Dismember coming. I mean, I'm going to be in kind of an amount of trouble to a Scourge of the Skyclaves. It's at a minimum an 11/11 right now. The opponent's got a fetch and apparently a Dismember. So it could be a 13/13 set by my life total. Maybe they're figuring out if maybe I like block their Bomat Courier with the Shadow and then they could Dismember my Shadow. But I think I would see through that anyway. If they attack the Courier, I'm definitely going to block with the Angler. But yeah, it looked like they were trying to pay life. So the read is Dismember. Full retail Dismember. Yep. I like how this Luris is out here in exile where an Unearth can't touch it. Brutal. Alright, well now we can get our next white source. I mean, we're going to Ranger Captain for another Shadow. This Bomat Courier has the potential to actually net the opponent some cards. Your Street Wraith. Not exactly what I'm looking for. Ranger Captain gonna be strong though. Let's use the ability, please. Doubt I'm gonna be cycling this Street Wraith. One more land, we could play it. Don't think I'm gonna sack the Ranger Captain on empty either. It's still a 3/3 that can attack. I don't know what you mean by fishing guy. To look at the hand. Oh, take a card until he dies. I know exactly what you're talking about. It costs a black and a white, and he's in a boat like fishing for something, right? He's like fishing for souls. No, I don't think that's what they're playing red for, or sorry, white. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Tide Hollow Sculler. Yeah, Chaos got it. Alright, so Dismember does not kill my shadow even after a block, so let's block. They might just be swapping their hand for the Bomat Courier here. Hell of a delay. I think on my delay should be at about 3 or 4 seconds. Or they ditched Thoughtseize and Wear Tear. There you go. There's your white card. Or one of the white cards. Don't know what they brought this in for. We've got them dead on board. They're going to have to do something. 2 burn spells kills us. That's fine. That cantrips. It did board down an angler too. No, yeah. It's pretty much impossible to stream without some amount of delay. The minimum, the low latency setting is roughly between 3 and 4 seconds, at least with my internet connection, and that's what I'm using right now. The low latency setting. That's a 12-12. Alright, I think that wins us the game. Oh no, it doesn't, right? Because Sword of Feast and Famine does not give protection from the Swift Spear. I mean, we can have protection indefinitely from the Scourge. We'll get our basic Swamp here. We could even play the Street Wraith and block with that. I think I'm gonna get the sword down though. And then what should I even put it on? Probably the Shadow. Yeah, let's put it on Shadow. I don't want them pushing it. And then next turn I even have the option of attacking with Death Shadow. And then after they block with the Swift Spear, I can equip it onto the Ranger Captain to block the Scourge. What is this, Esper Dome? Pretty much. I like it. Oh, I didn't update my record. My bad. Currently 1-1. But up a game. Yeah, I mean, we beat Titan and then lost to Titan. So many Titans. It's ridiculous. Shock? For what? Oh no, it's Agadeem's Awakening. Oh no, it's a kicked Scourge. Oh, okay. I guess. I'm real glad I didn't cycle the Street Wraith. I mean, I guess if I'm going to cycle it, it has to be now, right? I think I'm going to have to play it. I mean, Street Wraith is actually... The Swamp Walk is going to be lethal. Right, because the opponent's at 3 and this thing has Swamp Walk. I just have to make sure that I can block everything. Yeah. Street Wraith. Go. There's no reason to sack the Ranger Captain in the opponent's upkeep, right? Because I'd have to double block and then my Street Wraith would be dying. So I have to hope that the opponent doesn't draw removal here. If the opponent draws removal, I die. That, I mean... I guess like a burn spell also does it. I mean, they're playing Lava Spike and at least one Forked Bolt. Neither one of those will do it. It's gonna have to be a Bolt to do it when they draw the card. Yeah, sacking is definitely less than ideal. Because then I'm forced to double chump. So yeah, they have to have pretty much exactly Bolt or like another Dismember. It's like Fatal Push never touches the Street Wraith. And then I need to make sure the Street Wraith lives. I guess now I don't, right? Is there a smarter way to do this now? Now that the opponent is tapped out, there is a smarter way to do this. If I can make sure that the Ranger lives, I can, in response to their upkeep trigger, sacrifice the Ranger, and then my Death Shadow should kill them no matter what. So yeah, at my upkeep, in response to their draw card, I'll sack Ranger. So now, even if it's Bolt, doesn't matter. Nice. Alright, let me update my record thing before I forget. Well, bam. I don't know, this brew is working. I mean, it's kind of hard for it to not work. I'm playing some of the better mid-range cards that exist. Like Death Shadow and Stoneforge can only ever be so bad, right? Yeah, attacking all was a misplay, I think, from the opponent. I mean, it kind of wasn't though, right? Because like assuming their top card is the out has to be to kill the Street Wraith. Yeah, if the opponent holds back Swift Spear... I mean, if the opponent holds back Swift Spear, it still doesn't matter. Because they're at 3. Wait, maybe you're right. Yeah, if they hold back the Swift Spear and they draw the out off of the top, their Swift Spear can block my... Can block the Death Shadow with the sword, and then they can kill the whatchamacallit. So yeah, had they held back Swift Spear and seen the out, that would have been a way for them to win. How about this hand? A second land makes this hand really good. I'm gonna keep. Like, even if we miss, we've got double Thoughtseize. Sanctuary. Alright, well, it looks like we're gonna have time. We're gonna have time to draw the land. Alright. Well, let's just hit it immediately, right? Alright, I'll get a Godless Shrine. I could get Watery Grave just because that's what I'm likely to get with the second fetch anyway. That would like disguise what I'm doing for one more turn. But let's not get cute. Let's just pop off the Thoughtseize. Target you. Rejulen. Dream Trawler? Dream Trawler? Yes, I'm playing 4 copies of Marsh Flats. We're base black-white. I'm playing 2 apiece of Flooded Strand and Delta. I mean, I plan on killing the opponent before their Dream Trawler becomes a thing. I'll take the Remand. Yeah, I dislike Path. But I mean, Blue-White Stoneblade is one of the best decks right now, and it plays 4. So maybe not. Alright, well, unfortunately, there's only one more equipment for us to get. And we've got 2 of the Stoneforges. Definitely going to play a Stoneforge here and get the other equipment. Want more black before I want more white, I think. How do you sub? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. Are you on mobile or are you on... Oh, they drew Remand? Or on desktop? Yeah, if you go to the Twitch Prime, I think it's in the top right. Obviously, like, there's never any, what's the word? Like, I never, like, ask anyone to sub, but if you do, I appreciate it. Unearth. Peer pressure. On mobile? Yeah, I think if you, just, like, click on the screen and make it so, like, if you twist the screen so you're looking at your phone vertically like you normally would, and the screen's just at the top and you can see, like, the chat down below, I think in between the chat and the, and the actual screen displaying the play screen, there should be a button. Also, pro tip, I think it's actually $1 cheaper if you subscribe on desktop. Oh, hey, a gifted sub. Thanks for the gift, Chaos. I appreciate it. Look at my viewers looking out for my viewers. Oh, Jeskai. Interesting. So, I was hoping to get this opponent relatively dead before Dream Trawler became a thing, but it's looking like they might get there. We've got the other Thoughtseize, so we've got some reprieve if we can get this past their defenses. They do need second white. Unfortunately, now they have Snapcaster Remand as an option. I would really love to draw untapped land here, because then I can Thoughtseize and shoot a an equipment through the Stoneforge. So untapped land would be big. How about another Thoughtseize? Another Thoughtseize, it could have been worse. Like, they might just snap Remand this. In which case, I'll do it again. Yeah, Thoughtseize is fine here. It sucks that I'm not advancing the board, though, while the opponent is. Like, untapped land here would have been really big. If they're remanding it, it's less good. But it's still probably fine. I gotta make sure to cast the one that has the art that the opponent knows about, right? Alright, so... Whoa! Nahiris. Jeez. I mean... Batterskull is vigilant. If I take Nahiri here, I'm kind of pricing myself into taking the other Nahiri, which means I'm soft to both Dream Trawler and Shark Typhoon. I think I'm gonna take the Shark Typhoon, and the next turn I'll take the Dream Trawler. I'm not really liking this spot though. I needed the lands. I mean, I kept one land there. I was lucky to draw the first one. Yeah, this is an oof for sure. Right in the soul. I wonder if the opponent is playing a like an Emrakul or something to pair with the Nahiris. Probably, right? Dream Trawler is interesting. I love this card. For the short time that Pioneer was really popular, I played a couple of those. I guess that answers that question, huh? Come on, untapped land. Stop. It's not funny anymore. Do I want to cycle the Unearth and try to spike it? I don't think I can win anymore. I mean, I can play a Shadow and Thoughtseize. I mean, I guess that's the only real good plan that I've got. They drew a Cryptic Command? Jeez. Come on, opponent. Give me a chance. I'm going to attack the Nahiri for one. If they trade with either of these, I'm happy. And like, if they minus the Nahiri to get rid of the Stoneforge, I'm also pretty happy with that. Maybe that's a mistake. Because like, if I have at least something good in play, that's something I can attach them all the Skyclaves to. Yeah, it feels bad. And even then, they've got a Shark which flies. Pretty bad spot no matter what I do. Maybe I just don't take the Dream Trawler because I can hope they don't draw another white source. Alright, opponent. Alright. You can have this game. You obviously won it. Yeah, they weren't picking me for one. I don't know why. Alright. Tefers seems good. Sword of Fire and Ice seems good. Protection from blue and red. I don't think I want Rest in Peace. I mean, they're playing a Snapcaster deck. Maybe the Rest in Peace is good enough. They won't be able to ditch their Emrakul if they've got the Emrakul, which is kind of funny. Let's play the Nile Spell Bombs. Those do seem good. Ooh, Skyclave Apparition gets rid of Nahiri, doesn't it? That's cute. Dispute? Yeah, I could dispute. Let's give it a go. Like, if I'm not bringing it in here, then when am I bringing it in, right? I need 6 cuts. I don't think I'm gonna. I want to be playing these fatal pushes. Maybe not even this dismember. I like the denials. They're playing big stuff like Nahiri and Cryptic Command for that matter. A lot of their removal is exile based. Maybe this Unearth is not going to be consistently good enough. The rest of what I've got going on I kind of like. I do need one more cut though. Is Liliana Last Hope good? Like, it's good versus Snapcaster. That's about it. A lot of the removal is exile based, which feels bad. I guess that might not even be true. They might have like a bunch of lightning helixes and stuff. Liliana Last Hope might actually be very good. I don't want to invert my curve too much, which feels weird. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting this Liliana in here. Let's just do this. Oh, maybe what I do, I'm gonna take out the Feast and Famine for the Liliana. It's one less thing to tutor for, but we brought in another thing to tutor for, and like it's protection from the two colors that they're not. Yeah, Supreme Verdict is the thing. Another reason why Liliana Last Hope might be good. Maybe buy something back after they sweep. This hand's got 3 redraws and a single land. I think I'm keeping it. This is another hand where like second land makes this hand very good. And then third land obviously going to be good as well. I guess I'll cycle first, increase the chances that I hit it. Like I could also do Thoughtseize that I want to do this turn. Another Stoneforge. Alright, there's the land. So I guess I'm getting Godless Shrine. If I get Godless Shrine, I can't actually cast this Thought Scour. So I guess I can Marsh Flats and get Watery Grave, but I really want a lot of white and a lot of black. Maybe I just Hollowed Fountain first, and then I can Godless Shrine next turn. That seems fine. Yeah, this matchup generally like the blue-white X control decks are harder than are harder than most things for Shadow, but I mean I've got some good sideboard cards. Definitely going to Thought Scour myself because it'll power up anglers if I find them. All right, we hit another land. Excellent. Alright, so I'm going to get Godless Shrine for sure first. And then Polluted Delta's the worst fetch because this one gets my basic, so I'll do this one. So let's Godless Shrine. Say yes. Stoneforge. And then don't think I'm getting Skyclave. It's between Fire Nice and Batterskull. I guess Batterskull's better because it forces them to have the answer pretty much immediately. And then if they do, that gives me a window to stick Liliana Last Hope, barring a Force of Negation. Yeah, so this can get the Watery Grave. Got like a Helix or something. This particular list has been pretty popular. Yep, they've got the combo, basically a Rampant Growth. I mean, this gives me a window to put the Batterskull into play. Yeah, Nick, you're psychic. Yeah, they're probably playing many Cleansing Wildfire, so I'm gonna avoid fetching basics whenever I can. Also, they're like a Path to Exile deck, so that's another reason to not want basics. Ooh, that was a good one. Alright, I'm going to pass. And then at the end step, I'll put a Batter Skull into play. Again, it's a little awkward with the shadow plan, so I'm going to have to kind of pick one or the other, but I don't really have any shadows in sight, so I think I'm happy just going the Batter Skull route. This deck is sweet. I don't even know how I would want to change it. Like I was worried about not playing any Inquisitions because I know a lot of devoted Shadow decks like playing more than 4 hand disruption spells, but I mean, four has been feeling fine. And as soon as we have this Batter Skull in play, we'll have the Ferocious to enable the denial. Watery Grave. Maybe I can just get another Godless Shrine. Watery Grave's like, let's just get the trifecta. And now whatever I get with this Stoneforge, I can shoot into play with a non-summoning 6 Stoneforge. Yeah, their hand's got to be strange. I would like priority, please. That one. Ooh, Thoughtseize was really good. I could just try to get this Liliana down. But I like Thoughts using their next play, especially if they're like sandbagging a Verdict or something. And then I can use this Thoughtseize to determine what I want to get with Stoneforge. I mean, it's probably going to be Fire and Ice. They just have more Nihiris. I guess that explains why they weren't super afraid of throwing one. Periphery Nodes is a really cool one. Just kills a creature every upkeep, right? And then as soon as there isn't a target, it goes away. I mean, this Force of Negation is annoying, but it's not going to counter things that I put into play with a Stoneforge. Snapcaster is also quite annoying. Let me just look up what Periphery Nodes does again. I don't want to accidentally click it, so I'm going to do it on my phone. Periphery. So it's a 1-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy the creature with the least power. It can't be regenerated. If 2 more creatures are tied, you choose. I think I'm just going to take the Snapcaster. I think one of the ways I lose this game is if they find a path and they can just start pathing everything. Like, I've got Stoneforges to, like, fade the Periphery Nodes a few times. And like they've even got the Snapcaster to make it awkward. It's close. I'm going to take the Snap. And then I'll play another Stoneforge. If they want an Ahiri minus to get rid of the Stoneforge I'm about to attack with, that's probably fine. Yeah, it is Drop a Honey, just color shifted. So, this can get Fire and Ice. Then I'll attack for 5. Yeah, if they're going to tap out for an Ahiri and then minus to get rid of a Stoneforge, that's fine with me. Yeah, like Liliana would be good for the Snapcaster, but I don't want them to like find a path and like be able to get rid of multiple things. Alright, they can Nahiri and Periphery nodes here if they want. Untapped land here lets them do it. But I'll get to kill the Nahiri. I think they're gonna go like Nahiri plus play nodes. I mean, if the Nahiri plus play nodes, I get to still kill the Nahiri. I won't be able to put a sword into play. I mean, minusing on the Nahiri means that their nodes is going to clear the board faster. And this triggers at their upkeep. So I'm gonna have all my creatures to take down the Nahiri even if they don't minus. Sure. So now the weird spot is: do I want to play more creatures, or do I let their nodes die off? I think I'm killing this Nahiri. The question is like, do I want to put a Sword of Fire and Ice into play, or do I want to play another Stoneforge? I mean, if I just attack the opponent with the Germ, they'll be going to 8. And then Sword equipped onto the Germ is actually lethal. So maybe I should go for that. Like, if they draw Path to Exile or a Helix, something could go wrong. But, I mean, I've got a Dispute. I think I'm going to go at the opponent here and then try to go for lethal on my next turn. Like, their Periphery nodes is going to kill the Stoneforge. So I guess I'm just going to put the sword in now. Alright, and then I'll hold up the blue source for the Mystical Dispute. They know I've got the Sword of Fire and Ice. Alright, so yeah, next turn I'm going to go for the kill. This will make it a 6/6, and then from connecting, I'll get to do 2 to another target. It's a strange play, but I think it might be the right one. This has to kill the weakest thing, which is this Stoneforge. And then, like, next turn, maybe I just, like, play my Liliana, because I do want this Periphery nodes to go away at some point. I want to just keep on feeding it. So I want to dodge a Lightning Helix and a Path. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything big and blue that I'm going to be able to counter here. If they do nothing, I can Thought Scour, which isn't nothing. It's not ideal, though. I mean, doing this now tells them that I don't have Stubborn Denial. Oh, are they going to Cryptic me? That would be bad. Oh, they're not gonna hard cast a Force, are they? There's no way they're doing that. Sure. Yeah, I guess they figure that even if they make a blocker, the sword is gonna make the blocker not mean anything anyway. Well, I mean, if they haven't done it yet, I'm assuming they just don't have it. I'll still leave up the blue just in case their interaction is blue. Then I can dispute it. I mean, I'm going to assume they don't have an answer, though. Like, not even Snapcaster does it. We've got Pro Blue. They can Lightning Helix, get themselves out of burn range. All right, that did it. Sweet. So we saw periphery nodes. Is that a reason to want to play Feed the Swarm? It does answer periphery nodes. There's not a whole lot of creatures that we actually care about, though, so it would be mostly just for that. Like, there's Snapcaster, which we hardly care about. There's I guess like sharks from cycled shark typhoons, but like those come in at instant speed. So sorcery speed answer is kind of silly. You don't think it's worth? I think it's a funny thought. I agree though. I don't think it's worth it. Like, I think I'll just have to be careful with how many creatures I commit, because like it does sacrifice itself when the last thing leaves. But I mean, if I'm letting it leave by like waiting a couple turns, that's giving the opponent a lot of time. And they're the deck that benefits more from time. If I were to bring it in, what would it be over? None of these. Like, it could be over like a Thought Scour, but that powers down the Gurmag Anglers even more. I mean, it does target, so Giver is a way around it. Unless they're targeting Giver. And they probably will be, because 1 power is likely to be the least amount of power. I think I'm just going to resubmit. I think you're right. I think it's probably too cute. Yeah, like, Giver does seem like one of the weaker cards. But it can protect our stuff from Nahiri. And, like, Paths and Helixes. Ooh. I like this one. Gonna need another land to really hit our top end here. So it looks like I'm going to be getting Watery Grave with the Marsh Flats. Yeah, I brought that up a little earlier, Chaos. The little, like when with the default stream lag is about like between 8 and 10 seconds, and the low latency is like 3 or 4 seconds. Yeah, what are you talking about? If not for broadcasting. Oh, like a viewing low latency? Oh, that's good. What's your delay now? All right, there's the land. Better not increased. All right, well, there's the land for our top end. I can get a Shadow down next turn by paying a total of 3, 6, 8 life, so it'll be at 1/1. Not huge. This hand's shaping up, but I would love a Thoughtseize to make sure we can actually get something through. Yeah, this hand's quite reactive. Like we've got some good plays, like some good proactive stuff, but we don't have a way to force them through, which is why I was saying I would love a Thoughtseize. Yeah, I think I'm gonna fetch shock at the end step here. You're gonna kill your own flagstones again. I'm not gonna double stubborn denial this. Doesn't seem very worth it. Alright, so I think I'm gonna complete the trifecta to get like a hollowed fountain and a watery grave. Maybe that's bad. I mean, I definitely want double white, and I definitely want. I guess I have so many blue spells. Like having 2 blue sources is actually probably good. So let's get the hollowed fountain here. So I would love to slam it to fairy here, but that gives them a window to resolve an Ahiri. I mean, I guess they get to resolve an Ahiri anyway if they've got a land drop. Jeez. Maybe I should just play a 1/1. I think I'm gonna play the 1/1 and just like hold up all the counters. Like if they have bolts and helixes, it's unfortunate. But if I tap out for Teferi, they're just gonna slam a Nahiri. Like I don't have Ferocious here, but I could at least like double Stubborn Denial it. And then like next turn, maybe I can Teferi and play one of the counters. Like if they Nahiri and it somehow resolves, I'm gonna want to have pressure for it. And now a fetch, which results in a shock, will have our shadow at a 4/4, which means our stubborn denials will just be 1 mana and negate, which does seem good. One thing this hand is not beating is Dream Trawler. We know the opponent's playing one. Explosives on 1. Yeah, that resolves. Alright, well, our Ferocious Enabler is likely to no longer be an enabler. Oh, this is going to be a long league. I thought when I was queuing up Shadow, this wasn't going to take forever, but we're at over 2 hours and we're in match 4. Ashiok. I think I might have to double stub that. Oh no, it's a blue spell. I can dispute it. Let's dispute it. Hopefully they have like dispute of their own and then I can stubborn denial that. They have dispel? Alright, this is gonna work out. Really big that we actually get to hard counter something with stubborn denial when we're not even guaranteed to be having ferocious. Just all the counter spells. Whose idea was it to bring these in? I can Teferi Time Raveler balance the engineered explosives. They could play the explosives on 3, but then they're using their entire turn to do it. Thing is, like, if I do that, I'm putting down all of my counters if I don't draw a blue source. Like, I could Ranger Captain, but then I'm getting a 1-drop, which the explosives just takes care of anyway. I mean, I also don't want to just attack with the 1/1 and do nothing, so I think I'm going to Teferi here. And then I think I will do this. Alright, we hit the blue source. So we've got Stubborn Denial again, but we don't have Ferocious. Just blue things, yeah. Yeah, Fetch Land would have been really nice, because then we could have Stubborn Denialed the Engineered Explosives. We can still do it, but it's just a force spike as opposed to a negate. So yeah, fetch would have been real nice. And then important to note, we now have no more fetchable blue sources. These are all 3. We've got Godless Shrine and then our 2 Godless Shrine colored basics. Bolt the Shadow. Yeah, I mean, it's going to work. And I guess they're going to go for explosives on 3 to take care of Teferi that way. Indeed. Funny enough, explosives on 3 is going to also take care of Ranger if we commit it. Need to draw a threat here. Whoa. That's insane. That gets rid of the engineered explosives. That's so good. So good. And if they get rid of the Skyclave, they get a 0/0. That doesn't get the nothing. That gets the engineered explosives. Lets us keep everything. Yeah, Brady. You don't come to the stream to watch anything other than the nuts, huh? I wouldn't. What is this? You coming for the Esper? Who doesn't? It's only Esper. Yo, if they tap out for Dream Trawler here, we can dispute it. Please, tap out for Dream Trawler. Please. Come on, you know you want to. You know you want to. Oh, looks like it's Nahiri. No? Ping! Alright, wait, whose idea was it for the disputes? I changed my mind. You're a genius. Whew. Whew. It's a little warm. It's a little warm in here. Whew. Oh, you and Chaos are my heroes. Wow. That was quite a mystical dispute. Wow, wow, wow. Welcome to the Esper Dome. Oh yeah. I like how standard's good again. That's fun. I've been playing a tiny bit on Arena. I want to start learning about historic. Like, I know it exists, and I know that it's semi-popular. All right, let's see if this brew can get us the 4-1. It's definitely been good. I gotta ship this for sure. Another land would make this insane. There we go. Yeah, I mean, you could technically play historic on here if you wanted to like get the cards and like direct challenge somebody. But I mean, yeah, if you want like sanctioned historic games, it's only on Arena. Alright, so maybe I should cycle Street Wraiths first, because that could inform what I want to Thoughtseize. Alright, so let's get a blue source, and obviously black, because we're casting Thoughtseize. Alright, and then hopefully the opponent's not playing like a burn-esque deck and makes us look really stupid. Looks like mono. It looks like red white prison. Yeah, you have to like get wild cards, right? And like you can't even outright buy wild cards. All right, Oust is gonna be really annoying, but I mean we've got a Stubborn Denial for it. The same is true for like their entire hand. So I mean I want to Stoneforge Mystic on my upcoming turn, which means the opponent is gonna have access to 2 mana before I Thoughtseize them again. I think I'm gonna leave him with their Cleansing Wildfire, so it's really just between Gideon and Oust. I think I'm gonna take the Gideon. They can't actually oust yet anyway. Their Cascading Cataracts is the combo with the Cleansing Wildfire, because it's gonna be Cascading Cataracts is indestructible. Yeah, yeah. Stoneforge time. And I guess I'll get Batterskull. And then if I draw untapped land, I can Thoughtseize the Oust and get the Batterskull into play. It gets a little bit harder if I don't draw the untapped land, but let's just see what we draw and work from there. So now they'll Rampant Growth. So untapped land would be significant. Okay. Alright, so they have drawn Lightning Bolt and another Wildfire. Also Flagstones. I guess I'm just taking Oust. Lightning Bolt doesn't take care of Batterskull very adequately. Alright, so unless something stupid happens, Batterskull is going to enter play at my opponent's end step. What's up, KO Diamonds? Yeah, I mentioned that in the deck tech that I'm just going to try to avoid that situation and then just pivot the plan to whatever the situation calls for. So far, hasn't come up. Maze Mind Tome. Do I want to Stubborn Denial that instead of getting a Batterskull into play? Eesh. Honestly, Stubborn Denial is going to be good for countering pretty much anything, right? You would stub it? Yeah, it's pretty close. This game is going to go for a while, and if it does, which it will, this tome is going to be really, really good. Watch them pitch the Spirit Guide. Yeah, their hand's pretty garbo. Hey, yo, there's a Maul. Alright, well, I guess now the plan is to put the Batterskull into play. Yes, a wild KO Diamonds appears, indeed. I haven't played a Stoneforge deck in so long. I played Stoneforge decks like the moment it got unbanned, and then I stopped. I don't know why. This card is great. I mean, so I could sort of Feast and Famine, hit for 4. I mean, if I maul it, it's gonna attack immediately. I almost like getting the Sword of Feast and Famine into play, just because like next turn I can equip it, hit the opponent, make them discard a card, and then untap, and then I could even maul again if I really want. If I could even maul that same turn. I think I'm gonna play the sword. If the opponent finds another Gideon of the Trials, I could be in trouble, just because I only have a singular threat right now. So KO Diamonds, this has been dubbed the Esper Dome. I forget who said that should be the name, but I mean, it makes sense, right? Destroy all lands. Well, I guess I wish I'd put them all in, huh? Yeah, name is false advertising. I mean, the stream title isn't, though. They used that Cataracts, didn't they? Alright, well, it's just a germ versus the world. Yeah, I wish I had played them all. We would have shaved the turn off. Yeah, punished indeed. Hold the line. What is this? Did they draw the Gideon? Chandra? Please don't be Chandra. Woof. Wow, Maul would have been so much better. That's on me. Yeah, had we used the Maul there, we actually had a fighting chance, but I mean, in theory, like if they didn't kill all of our lands, I like playing the sword. Yeah, hashtag regrets. Alrighty. Um, yeah, I don't know. What do I even bring in versus them? None of these cards seem good. Not Rest in Peace, not Path, not Dispute. I don't know that Feed the Swarm does enough. Not Liliana, not Teferi. Maybe like Sophie. You like Fire and Ice too? I mean, it'll protect my stuff versus like the bolts and stuff, right? That's about it. My stuff is ideally bigger than the bolts anyway. Yeah, Chandra as well. I mean, Chandra isn't going to kill like the anglers in the shadows, but it kills everything else. Yeah, I'll Sophie. Maybe I take out Feast and Famine. Doesn't actually have protection from anything in their deck. Yeah, let's go first. Yeah. We're missing a threat that is actually a clock. Like, Cyclave is nice, but only for so long. This hand, like, desperately needs a shadow. Let's cycle first, get some information. Demonstrate a loop. Yuck, we drew a push. Godless Shrine time. Oh hey, welcome to the bot in the chat that wants me to buy followers. They have Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. I don't super care about the Bolt. It's probably just this Boom Bust because they're going to combo with the Cataracts. Yeah, it's a Boom Bust. They target their indestructible land, then it's just a 2-mana Stone Rain. Shadow! It's not a shadow. They drew a Gideon, we're taking that. I guess I'll shock. Don't click it. Don't click the link. Damn it. And he was never seen again. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Alright, well, they've got a bolt. So I guess I'm not going to go below 4. Wow, these removal spells look really, really bad. That's a shadow. Alright, they're bolting that. That gives me some hope. They're 33.3% the way to hard casting the Emrakul. Yeah, 1 from Armageddon. Definitely got to get my threat down before that happens. people get to keep 2 lands? That's disgusting. They don't have the Armageddon as far as we know. Does this deck play Blood Moon? Not usually. As far as I know. I mean, they very easily could. Uh-huh.
She just left.
I'm about to just like play this Skyclave empty. Shadow. Hey, that's a Stoneforge. I don't think we have Battle Skull anymore. Battle Skull's right here. Stop it, opponent. You're rude. They played Cataracts or they played Prairie? They played Prairie. Of course, there's the Angler. Let's play our Grizzly Bear. Yeah, that makes sense, Go Lands. Yeah, that Thought Scour looked weird, huh? All non-bows that I mentioned. I mean, they're all corner cases, but I mean they come up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're 66.67% towards casting Emrakul. That was fine. So that'll put 4 cards in our yard total. It's not quite Gurmag Angler mana. If it hits a land, we can Gurmag Angler. Maybe I should just maul to get a 4/4 in play. It's kind of close. You would scour? Yeah, I think like there's a pretty big upside to like getting this Gurmag Angler into play. Let's just get boom busted again before we can get the Gurmag Angler down. Yikes, more removal. Alright, I guess I'm attacking. I mean, I guess I'm gonna Fatal Push my own thing without Revolt just to put stuff in the yard at this point. Yeah, sure, of course. Alright, time to Angler. What are the odds they play the Mana Tithe? Probably low. I'm assuming I've tracked their hand correctly, which means this is their 2-card hand. I've got Unearth in the deck, so I'll leave the creatures. Alright, we can win through a Boom Bust now. Why'd we keep in the pushes? Because I'm stupid. There also wasn't a whole lot to bring in, but it looks like basically everything else would have been better. Well, if we're lucky enough to get a game 3 somehow. Alright, so their hand is literally Emrakul. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're like not even super far off. Fetchland is fine. That means we can get the other Gurmagangler into play. Don't know how we're still in this, but we are. Yeah, I think we've got a 2-turn clock. So like even if they Armageddon us, we could have some play. Timely? That's stupid. We could take the Emrakul. Don't think we want to. I mean, I guess I should probably just maul here. Slap it on a Gurmagangler. It's not lethal over 2 turns though, which is the issue. I mean, the Sword of Fire and Ice doesn't even punch through the tokens anyway. It will with the Maul of the Skyclaves. Yeah, Maul looks good here. Like, if they attack all, we get to block. We'll go down to 4, which isn't just dead to a bolt. Don't think we're casting the Thoughtseize to take the Emrakul. We know their hand is garbage. Welcome to the Slam-a-Jam Jam. Oh, this is 2 turns as well. I don't know why I miscounted. I think I counted 5 plus 5 plus 2, and it said it was 12. But no, this is 2 turns. All right. This is when they draw Wear Tear. I guess it wouldn't even be that bad. They drew another land somehow. They're not at Emrakul mana, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We somehow, by the grace of whatever magic god exists, won that game. Alright. That was stupid. You know what else is stupid? Fatal Push. I mean, I guess like another random equipment is better than a Fatal Push. Like, we have, I guess, like, these 2 Planeswalkers do nothing. Like, we could bring in an artifact just because it cantrips. Yeah, spell bombs do draw cards. Teferi's never bouncing anything meaningful, right? Play other Emrakul, yeah. They could have cast it even after Nihil Spellbombing. Or after Relic of Progenitusing. Relic of Progenitusing. You know what? I think I'm going to play a Soul Guide Lantern over Nihil Spellbomb, because if for some reason they're playing Rest in Peace, I never get to draw the card off of the Spellbomb because it's when it goes to the graveyard trigger. But I can draw the card off of the Soul Guide Lantern because it's an activated ability from the field. Doubt it comes up, but it could. I could bring in Dispute because it's a 3-mana leak, but I don't think I will. You think like a Last Hope could win quickly? Yeah, that's fair. Let's see if we have time to fix it. No. Oh well. Yeah. We need a faster clock. But I mean, we've got a counterspell. Yeah, this hand's fine. We're missing like substantial pressure. But I mean, we've got some things to do. Yeah, last up would have been a good include. They bottomed. We drew a land. So what are the odds they boom off of an indestructible land next turn? I mean, the way my mana is lining up, this looks like it's going to be getting Watery Grave, which I can Thought Scour off of. And, like, playing this now means they can't boom us. Or, like, we could fetch in response at least. Hey, no indestructible land. Oh, we're countering that. We are countering that. Yeah, this game is going long, so that cannot be allowed. Watch them have Spirit Guide. They don't, though. Dodged it. Basic planes, huh? I guess I get to lose life faster if I get my silent clearing into play and start tapping it. So I think I'm gonna silent clearing and tap it to put the spell bomb into play. Yeah, seems fine. And then if they do nothing here, I think I'm gonna draw the card off of the Thought Scour instead of the spell bomb. It's kind of close. Pillage. That's stupid. I mean, I've got Snapcaster, so like there's benefits to getting stuff in my yard. Let's just do it off of this. Like my blue mana is more likely to be choked than my black mana, so let's use the blue spell. Mill to Stoneforge. Hit a Stoneforge. Just making sure I didn't like activate the silent clearing ability instead by accident. Batter ball. Boo. Gideon. Not Gideon. Gideon. Brutal. That was a good one. That's a shadow if I want it to be. I'm pretty sure I want it to be. Maybe I should play this plains as to not expose my blue. Yeah, I'm not going to expose my blue. Jura. That's a big one. So I have to attack Gideon Jura this turn. I mean, I can Shadow and Snapcaster a Thoughtseize. Skyclave Apparition gets rid of smaller Gideon. So that's good. Probably should do that so I can start turning my other threats back on. Alright, I'm gonna play a Shadow. Play a Skyclave. That one. I have to attack Gideon. Alright, this is a board. Destroy a tapped creature, yep. Alright, and they're kind of on empty. Giver, not the worst. I'm definitely going to kill this Gideon Jura. The question is, like, if they've got a Path to Exile, should I commit both creatures to attacking it? I think I probably should. I could maul the Skyclaves on the Skyclave Apparitioner to make it a 4/4. Don't actually know which one I should be equipping here, but I'm definitely pretty sure I should be equipping it here. Like, if they've got a Bolt, that would be a way to punish me. So I probably should just not get cute and put it on the Shadow. Yeah, I'm going to put it on the Shadow. And then Shadow can kill the Gideon. Apparition can go at the opponent. You'd equip Apparition? Why is that? To play around Path? Yeah, that's fair. I had mentioned it right before I clicked it. But I mean, the way the opponent's been playing, which is just land go after these Gideons, I don't think they've got one. Like, they must have, like, freshly drawn it. And, like, now we've got Snap Stub and a Stub available. You would not play Giver to play around the Wrath? Yeah. You and I would do opposite things, but I think you're right pretty much every time. Alright, but I think double Stubborn Denial. Actually, we only have one Stubborn Denial. Oh, yes, we only have one blue. So yeah, I guess Stubborn Denial is actually just a really good draw. But I think we're in the clear now. I guess I could sack Spellbomb now. There's not really a better time to do it. Relic. Could just stub that. It's probably like they've been draw going. It's probably right to just stub this. Like, they could draw a creature that I somehow care about. You say don't stub. No, I'm pretty sure they don't have anything. It's like they literally didn't play anything for like 2.5 turns, and then they played a Relic. So I mean, if they somehow draw like an Inferno Titan or something stupid. Yeah, let's go. We got the 4/1. All right. So for purposes of the recording, I'm going to do what resembles a deck tech, but again, this is my first time with this random amalgamation of cards. So all right, so I guess let's just, it's probably easier to start off with what was overperforming. Ranger Captain overperformed. Skyclave Apparition was about as good as I expected it to be, which was really good. The Stoneforge package was really, really strong. Death Shadow, I think this particular shell did really well to enable a Death Shadow between all the fetch shocks, Agadeem's Awakening, quad Thoughtseize, and quad Street Wraith. Pretty much every single time I wanted to turbo out Death Shadow, I did. The anglers were fine. There was some awkwardness. I think I milled an equipment once with the Thought Scour, so I wasn't able to tutor for it with the Sanctuary. So there's some awkwardness there, but I'm not really sure what other large threat this deck could use outside of Gurmag Angler. Like, I could try for Scourge of the Skyclaves, but we're not really playing any burn spells or creatures that get on the board quickly, so I don't really think I'd be able to turn it on super consistently. So I think Angler might just be the next best beefy threat after the Death Shadow. And then wanting to play the Gurmag Angler incentivizes me to play blue, because then I get access to Thought Scour to power the Angler. And then playing blue also has the added benefit of Stubborn Denial, which is a really efficient and fantastic way to defend my various lines to victory. Have a good night, KO. You have some ideas? I'd love to hear them, Nick. All right, so for purposes of the recording, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Thanks all for tuning in, and thanks to all who came to watch live. This has definitely been a pretty interesting experiment. I think I'm gonna try to refine it. Nick's got a few ideas he's gonna pitch, and then maybe we do another one at some point in the near future and see if we can get a trophy with this weird Shadowblade pile. So until next time, have a good one.